This is lab 3. We're going to do the get word function together. Start with including standard I/O, and this is basically the get word will be using some string functions. So I'm just going to put them right in here right now. String.h, it's very common to include that as well. And I'm going to go through and fill in exactly the prototype given to us by Albert. Get word. I have some prompts such as please enter a word less than 10 characters. I'm going to try to store it in there if the person listens to me and puts in less than that many characters. Okay, so I can put this anywhere now that I've defined the prototype. I can put it below main, so I will, just to prove that I can. And what I want to do is, the fgetS is, for me, is going to read the keyboard and store whatever is typed, including the new line character or the end of file character, in a string. The string might be that they enter might be much bigger than this. For example, I'm going to test with very small numbers, like please enter a string less than 5 characters, stuff like that. So let me try that. I'm just going to get ready here in main and say char my word. Let's say 5 characters. That's not very long. So if I will test it like this. Get word is going to say true or false if it's stored or not. It should say 0 if the person enters end of file, or 1 if I successfully entered, in this case, fewer than 5 characters and I stored it in there. So printf. First let's call get word. And if you look up here past the prompt, enter a word less than, I'll just do it this way for now, 5 chars. Okay? And that's the prompt. And then I need my word array. And then I need size n, in this case 5. Now, get word should repeatedly go on forever and ever and ever until they press end of file, or finally enter something less than 5 characters. I can find out if it really worked like this. Percent. Okay, I can go like this. If get word returns 1, let's find out. You typed such and such a string. Otherwise, the only other possible return type we'll see is 0, which means you pressed end of file. Printf, you pressed end of file, which is Control D for Linux, Control Z for Windows. Alright, let's see if this works. First thing I want to do is, I'm only expecting 5 characters. I did a very small word on purpose. If somebody enters 800 characters, I'm in big trouble. I can't read it right from the keyboard right into this. It won't fit. So I'm going to do this instead. I'm going to create a char temporary string. And I'm going to make it very large, something like this. And I will copy it into here if and only if it is fewer than that many characters. So there's many ways of doing this. In your life you will write infinite loops quite often. I'm going to say as long as, forever, I'm prepared to go. Step 1, print the prompt. Prompt's a string, followed by a new line character if I want. And for me that's enter a word less than 5 chars. Now I've got to read the keyboard. fgetS, a good place to find out what does that really do. Man, fgetS. You'll see things like this. returns null or returns the buffer passed to it. I'll press Q. So if f_get_s, I'm getting a string, I'm going to put it in my temporary string, I'm going to read 1024 characters, and I'm reading from the keyboard, standard in. If it fails, a couple things we're asked to do. Clear the error from standard in, the buffer, and wipe out my word. So I can use the string copy function. In the previous lab I wasn't allowed to use many string functions. I'll put in my word something. Something. And I need to return 0. You pressed end of file or something like that. Otherwise, I can ask, is the string length of what you just typed in there, which includes a new line character, let's see, this should work. If it's less than what I'm expecting, for example 5, I'll copy that into my word. And I'll make a note it was successful. Save that. Compile lab 3A. Looks like I made the same mistake I made before. No. Lab 3A, line 29. Control G. Oh, my mistake. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 3. /A. Enter word less than character. That should not work. It's going to keep repeating forever until I press Control Z. I'll try Control D actually. End of file. Through Cygwin, I guess it tells Windows that's the end of file key. I'll run it again. No need to compile. Hello world. No. How about just bcit? bcit. So it's not coming in as under 5 characters. It's not understanding. I pressed end of file. It's not understanding. I think it's coming in and it's going to say that this is always 1024 characters. So what I want to do is I'm going to need to fool it somehow and say append the end of string character, the null character. I can do this since we're going to use scanf anyways. I'm going to copy into another string, and I should get only the actual characters copied with the actual length. I'll just call that new string. If I do get one successful conversion, that's what I'm looking for. I should get the proper string length this time. So this will be one of our best friends, scanf. If I get one successful conversion, a string conversion, then I will also, one of the things I'll get is the proper string length this time. And I only want to copy that number of characters. Let's see if this works. Control L. /A. Lots of characters, bcit. You typed bcit. If that didn't make sense, you can pause it, rewind it, take a look again. Next we'll move on to get int.